a Canadian actor who played wholesome roles on Riverdale, is now serving life in prison for murdering his own mother. A U.S. senator's son killed a sheriff's deputy during a high-speed chase. The son of comedy legend Ronnie Barker hid a devastating secret that would destroy his family's legacy. Welcome to True Crime Explorers. These aren't the celebrity scandals you're used to hearing about. These are the children of fame who crossed lines that money and status couldn't erase. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our deep dives into the cases that expose the darkest side of privilege. We often think of celebrity children as untouchable, protected by wealth, connections, and the best legal teams money can buy. But what happens when they commit crimes so serious that even their famous last names can't save them? Today, we're examining 10 cases where the children of the famous face the full weight of justice. Based on court documents and verified reports, these stories reveal important truths about accountability, addiction, and the consequences that follow when privilege meets serious crime. 10. Marcus Vick, the brother in the shadow. Marcus Vick, younger brother of NFL superstar Michael Vick, lived in an impossible shadow. Instead of following his brother's success, his life became a series of arrests, DUI charges, reckless driving, weapons violations. Multiple incidents of pulling firearms during traffic confrontations painted someone making increasingly dangerous choices. Marcus served jail time across overlapping charges and probation violations. His story reveals how celebrity families can produce casualties, siblings who self-destruct trying to prove they matter too. 9. Lil Twist, the industry's adopted son. Christopher Lynn Moore, Lil Twist, became a fixture in Justin Bieber's entourage, living in Bieber's mansion in a world where consequences seemed like they were for other people. In 2013, Lil Twist and others violently robbed Christopher Massey, brother of actor Kyle Massey. The attack was brutal and premeditated. In 2016, he was sentenced to 1 year in jail. The victim was attacked in his own home by people who thought proximity to stardom made them untouchable. 8. Indio Downey, Echoes of Addiction. In 2014, Indio Downey, son of Robert Downey Jr., was arrested for cocaine possession. For anyone who remembered his father's public battle with addiction, this felt like watching history repeat itself with cruel precision. Robert Downey Jr. spoke about the genetic component of addiction. Indio served jail time and completed an 18-month drug diversion program. This was a young man facing the same demons his father had battled, with a justice system that recognized addiction while still requiring accountability. 7. Redmond O'Neal, the son who had everything. Redmond O'Neal was born to Hollywood royalty, Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal. He had every advantage imaginable, yet by his 20s his life was a cycle of arrests, rehabs and interventions that couldn't save him. Starting in 2008, the arrests escalated: drugs, weapons, then violence. In 2018, he was charged with attempted murder and assault after attacking several people. Court documents revealed severe mental health issues including schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. In 2019, a judge found him incompetent to stand trial and ordered him to a state mental hospital. His mother Farrah had already died from cancer. Redmond's story is about a mental health crisis intersecting with addiction and crime, a tragedy privilege couldn't prevent. 6. Ian Kramer, the senator's son and a deputy's death. On December 6, 2023, Ian Kramer, son of U.S. Senator Kevin Kramer, crashed his vehicle into Sheriff's Deputy Paul Martin during a high-speed chase through North Dakota, killing him. Ian had been experiencing severe paranoia and hallucinations. His family brought him to a hospital, but he stole their SUV and fled. The pursuit reached speeds over 100 meters to each before Ian crashed into Deputy Martin's patrol car, killing the 53-year-old officer instantly. In December 2024, Ian was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Senator Kramer accepted that his son needed accountability. Deputy Paul Martin was a husband and father. No amount of privilege could bring him back. 5. Adam Barker, the comedian's dark secret. Ronnie Barker was a British comedy legend whose gentle humour brought joy to millions. In 2012, that legacy was shattered by his son, Adam Barker. Adam was arrested for making and possessing indecent images of children. Category A images, the most serious classification. He had actively created, downloaded, and distributed this material. Adam was sentenced to 12 months in prison and placed on the sex offenders register for 10 years. The real victims were the children exploited in those images, real children harmed for people like him. If you're finding these stories compelling, hit that like button. Have you heard of any of these cases? Let me know in the comments. 4. Christian Brando, The Tragedy of a Hollywood Dynasty. May 16, 1990. Inside Marlon Brando's Hollywood Hills estate, Christian Brando shot Dag Drolet in the face, killing him. Christian's half-sister Cheyenne had allegedly told him Dag was abusing her, a claim never proven. Christian shot Dag at close range while he sat on a couch. Marlon Brando wept on the stand about his failures as a father. Christian pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and served 5 years of a 10-year sentence. In 1995, Cheyenne took her own life. Christian died in 2008 after continued legal troubles. Dag Drolet's family never got real justice. 5 years for taking a life. 3. Nick Hogan, The Crash That Changed Everything. Nick Balea, Nick Hogan, grew up with access to powerful vehicles he couldn't handle. On August 26, 2007, that combination destroyed a life. Nick was 17, drag racing at speeds between 60 and 90 mph in a 40 mph zone. He lost control and hit a tree. His passenger, 22-year-old John Graciano, a Marine who'd served in Iraq, suffered catastrophic brain damage, leaving him unable to walk, talk, or live independently. Nick pleaded no contest to felony reckless driving. He was sentenced to 8 months in jail, 8 months for leaving his best friend in a permanent vegetative state. John Graziano remains in a nursing facility, requiring round-the-clock care, serving a life sentence Nick will never understand. 2. Ryan Grantham, From Riverdale to Life in Prison. Ryan Grantham had roles in Riverdale and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He was 24 with a promising career. On March 31, 2020, he shot his mother, Barbara Waite, in the back of the head while she played piano. The murder was planned. After killing her, Ryan covered her body, recorded confessions, and loaded his car with guns, ammunition, and Molotov cocktails. He planned to kill Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau or commit a mass shooting. Instead, he turned himself in. Psychiatric evaluations revealed severe depression. Ryan claimed he killed his mother to spare her from seeing him commit mass violence. Twisted logic from mental illness. Barbara Waite was 64, a loving mother and talented musician. In September 2022, Ryan was sentenced to life in prison with no parole for 14 years. His career is over. His mother is gone. 1. Cameron Douglas, The Price of Legacy. Cameron Douglas is Hollywood royalty, grandson of Kirk Douglas, son of Michael Douglas. He had every advantage and ended up in federal prison for nearly 10 years. In 2009, Cameron was arrested for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine and cocaine. He wasn't just using, he was dealing on a significant scale. He was sentenced to 5 years. Then, while in prison, Cameron was caught smuggling heroin into the facility. His sentence was extended by 4.5 years. He served 7 years total before release in 2016. Cameron's case shows that even with every advantage, choices have consequences. Fame couldn't buy his way out of federal prison. 10 stories where justice arrived despite privilege. These are reminders that accountability doesn't care about your last name, that addiction devastates families at any income level, and that mental illness requires intervention before it becomes violence. Which story stayed with you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Should we do a part 2 on unsolved cases involving celebrity children? For more cases where privilege met justice, check out our video on wealthy killers who thought they'd get away with it right here. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We post new true crime deep dives every week. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, justice doesn't always arrive quickly, but it does arrive.